My name's Gene Denton. I'm a commercial fishing charter operator out of Whitianga. I do quite a lot of deep water fishing. I really enjoy it. Fish deep water anywhere from sort of maybe 200 to 450 metres. It's really exciting. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, there's a few species obviously that you know you'll get, but I quite enjoy dropping down and just waiting for that bite. It's a long way down and dark and deep, so it's just something a little bit different to what most people are used to, I guess, in terms of fishing. Modern electronics have changed the way people fish a lot. I mean, generally, traditionally, most people would go off marks or things like that, but particularly with deep water fishing, you're so far off land that landmarks are not an option. So using modern electronics to not only find structure or new structure, but to actually pinpoint and target fish just has become more and more important. Let's get into it. So we've got the bottom of our dropper rig here, and from the bottom of the dropper rig to the sinkers we've just got it's about 40 or 60 pound nylon there, so if we do get caught on the bottom we can pull it, and then hopefully this part snaps. We do lose our sinkers, but then we get to keep the rest of our rig, because everything's so heavy duty, and this is like 400 pound nylon and 100 pound braid. If you do get stuck on the bottom, it can be one hell of a mission trying to get it out. So this is our little sacrificial part. One of the most productive ways to fish deep water is finding deep water structure, but managing to stay over it and stay on fish, which can be really challenging at times with winds and tides and swell. So being able to stay on the fish is really important. You can be doing absolutely amazing on the fish. They stay where they are. They won't follow you or your bait. As soon as you drift off the fish, it's game over. When you're fishing in a little bit deeper water, say anything over 70 metres, using your anchor is just not practical. It's not worth it. It's just too deep. Finding fish and then staying over fish is what the game's all about in deep water. You can drift around and you're going to get nothing. If you're not finding fish and dropping on them accurately, you really are just wasting your time. Myself personally, I hardly ever use my anchor. From the moment I turn key in the morning, whether I'm out looking for the bait, I'm searching, hunting for bait, and then staying over that bait. If I move off, I re-find the bait and get back on it and try and stay on it again. So I'm consistently and constantly looking for fish and trying to stay on fish. That's the two biggest goals that I'm trying to achieve. Right, so we're just going to set our baits now. Got our Shimano electric reels and got our canter on there. We're zeroed out. We're just going to let these all the way down to the bottom now. Let me know when you're ready to go, Shane. One of the most recent developments in technology from Yamaha is the Yamaha Helm Master EX. The Helm Master EX really just brings together all of the great separate functions of a boat, brings them together as one. We all know how good autopilot is. We all know how great the sounder and technology is. We all know how great their outboards are. What it does is it just brings it all together as one unit that speaks to each other. So you can use it as your autopilot, you can use it to stay on fish, the engine keeps you on fish, the steering's fully electric, it's just beautiful light steering, it's got everything connected so everything talks to each other all at once. Right, so we're just on the edge of the reef here, and we're just going to push fish point, and it's going to lock us right on the spot here. The beauty of this system is that you have complete control over your craft. You have a joystick you can use to steer the boat. You can stay on a school of fish or over a reef structure where you want to be, or you can set a predetermined track over a reef, and the vessel will compensate against the tide and the wind and keep you on that track. When you come over a bunch of fish, you can also use the button to stop you and keep you over there. So it just gives you complete control of your boat and keeps you on the fish or over the reef where you want to be at all times. Yep. Now hit it. Yes! 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119,
More 12?
Alright, what do we got?
10.
Here it comes, boy. Okay.
7.
When that thing stops,
6.
Yep, you won't. I'll just jump on the inside. Able? Here he comes. Oh, giant blue nose.
Big blue nose.
Keep winding, mate. Okay, stop. Oh. Over the cable. Oh. Bloody hogs,
You're holding that. I'll get straight to Fritz and he can hold it up.
I'll just get it off the hook and everything.
Whatever.
Okay, right. Take that gaff out.
Oh my god.
How's that, Rich?
Yeah.
So we came out on our original track, pulled up here, and this is how tight that, I can't even zoom in anymore on that, fully zoomed in, that's how tight it kept us on our first drop. Then we decided to take the fish point off and we moved down, did another quick drop down there, kept us nice and tight there. So now we're just coming over a little bit of reef here. So we might just stop here on the edge of this reef, like so. We're going to push fish point. It's going to give us our little prompt here. Now it's just going to hold us over this edge of the reef here, and we're going to drop our lines and see what's down there.
Hopefully something good.
The unreal thing about the Helm Master EX is that it's like a remote control skipper. If there's only a couple of you on deck, you and your buddy could be fishing, and the Helm Master EX takes complete control of the boat and does all the hard work for you.
Go, Geno! Skip! Let's go, Skip!
Oh, I know what happened, I think. Fatality. Once you've hit your spot and you've pushed the button and you want to start fishing, one of the biggest things to remember is you want your lines straight up and down. Now that's the beauty about the Helm Master EX, it keeps you straight over the fish. So if you start drifting and your lines start coming up, your baits are not in the target area where the fish are. When you're fishing over structure, finding fish and trying to stay on them, it can be a real art. You're fighting against the wind, the tide, the current. You're constantly on the throttle and wheel trying to hold there. It can be just such a tricky task. With the Helm Master EX, it just takes all of that hard work out of the equation. You can set 2 points. It will move you from point to point using the drift point option. It just gives you full control over your boat. We all know how good autopilot is and the advances in technology in autopilot. With the Helm Master EX, it's next level again. You can plot in your course. When you arrive, the Helm Master EX will slow you down and stop you on that point. The Yamaha Helm Master EX is the only system on the market that works with a single engine. Some of you may have noticed we're using the new V6 4.2 litre 225 Yamaha, the white edition. So for any Yamaha engine, 150 horsepower and above, for anyone that's even considering getting into deep water fishing, it is a very valuable piece of kit that you should definitely look into.